Hey, how's it going, Adapt family? With another installment today, Coach Will bringing you another Adapt at Home workout. Today, we have a 15-minute workout. We're gonna be doing 3 movements, 45 seconds for each one, with a 15-second rest before we go on to the next exercise. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of legs, we're gonna do a little bit of core, and we're also gonna do some core on the side. All right, so let's get after it. So the first movement that we have is gonna be some squat jumps. With these squat jumps, first and foremost, safety is the biggest thing. So make sure that if you have any ankle issues, any hip issues, or knee issues, and when I mean issues, I'm saying in the sense of range of motion limitations and also with pain. If you're feeling anything along those lines, we could alternate those things by doing some various ranges of motion differences, all right? But with that being said, let's go ahead and work on the first exercise, which is the RX version, which is gonna be the squat jump. So with the squat jump, we're gonna drop down into full range of motion, and full range of motion depends on you, all right? If you're feeling that this is as far as you can go or that you're willing to go, that's completely fine. A little bit goes a far way, especially the more we do it, all right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to get down as far as we can, preferably hip crease below the knee, and then we're gonna try to jump, okay? And notice, I didn't jump that high. I'm not trying to reach my head up to the roof. Even though if I really wanted to, I really couldn't, but I could be hopeful, right? But all I'm trying to do here is trying just to move, trying to get some explosive force to come on up. All right. Now, with that being said, talking about some of those variations that I brought up here not too long ago, I'm just going to walk right over here. I'm going to grab a chair. Now, if you're having any kind of issues with dropping down into a squat and you're just very apprehensive, then what we can do, we can just sit down on a chair like so. And then from this position here, utilizing our arms, and we're just jump up, sit back down, jump up. Okay? Remember, we're gonna do this for 45 seconds. I'm gonna go and do it this way for you to kind of see what I'm doing. Still practicing the same exact movement mechanics by making sure that I'm maintaining my chest nice and high, controlling it on the way down, utilizing my arms, and then jumping up. All right? And we'll be doing that for 45 seconds. I'm gonna put that off to the side. Next exercise we're gonna do a push-up with a rotation. All right? I really like this exercise because we're doing a couple things. First and foremost, we're utilizing that push-up position. Now, remember, I'm all about kind of changing it up to making sure that we're able to do these exercises for you. So if the push-up is a little bit difficult for you, you can always drop down to your knees. And notice when I drop down to my knees, I'm trying to keep my hips as extended as I can. Not trying to flex, just trying to keep it as extended as I can, dropping down, making contact with the floor with my chest, and then pressing up, all right? Now, doing the regular push-up, coming on up. Now the rotation comes in. I like to tell people to kind of make their feet a little bit wider just to have a little bit base of support. And all I'm gonna do is rotate off to the side. And why do I like this movement? A couple reasons. We're first doing the push-up, so we're getting a little bit of that pressing motion occurring. But on top of that too, when we actually go into this rotation, now we actively went into a side plank position. So now we're already actively using our core and trying to maintain somewhat of a rigidity in this area. So rotating and bringing this elbow back. Then I'm gonna go down into the push-up and then rotating out into this position. Actively driving force down into this hand. Really trying to push myself up, all right? And another thing, when we're dropping down, remember, you can push up on your knees. When you get to this position, get off your knees, open up those feet, and then rotate out, all right? Now this tends on being a little bit difficult. Just how with the push-up, we could just come here and you could actually stay on your knees and rotate out, all right? Coming down, staying on your knees, and rotate out, okay? Now, that being said, remember, it's all about what you can do and making sure that we're staying nice and healthy and making sure that if there's any pain or discomfort, try to adjust some of these movements as the best that you can. But the biggest thing is just to make sure that we're keeping that integrity and not letting those hips sag down. Making sure that we're driving up and pushing down with that hand. And then finally, the last and final exercise. This is one of my personal favorites. So this is just a little tweak on what we're used to when we're doing the Deadbug. Now, usually with the Deadbug, we're incorporating our upper body with our lower body by marching like so. But in this variation, you can either do one or two things. We could either utilize a wall, like I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna actively press up against the wall, like so, driving into the wall, and then lifting up my feet. And all I'm gonna do is march. Now, why do I like doing this variation? So, if I'm pressing up into a wall, what that's gonna do is it's gonna actively make sure that I'm pressing my upper abdominals and almost compressing my core. So when I'm doing that, I'm actively just moving my feet to kind of get a little bit of disassociation from my hips to make sure I'm keeping some kind of rigidity occurring here in the core. So we're getting ready for the beach, but we're getting a lot more resilient in our core. So pressing down and making sure that lower back is pressed up into the ground, and all we're gonna do is march. Nice and controlled. And the tap is a very, very crucial cue that we wanna make sure we're keeping in mind. When these heels are touching the ground, I want you to pretend that you have a pet ant. And all you're doing, and instead of giving them a high five, all you're doing is just tapping that ant and coming right back up. I wanna be nice and friendly to our pet ant. All right, so from right here, just tapping our pet ant and coming right back up. Tapping our pet ant and coming right back up. Notice I was really apprehensive because I really don't want to crush my ant. It's my buddy. So if you don't have a wall and you really want to work outside, getting some vitamin D, that's always really good. You got to take advantage of the sun. What we can do, we could just get some weight, like my good old handy bleach bottle. So with the bleach bottle, instead of pressing into the wall, what I can do, I could just hold some kind of weight, push up, making sure my shoulder blades are off the ground, and then same exact movement. Touching my pet ant, coming right back up. Touching my pet ant, and coming right back up. All right? So those are the three movements that we're gonna be doing, guys. 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, and it's gonna be a total of 15 minutes, all right? Let's get it, guys. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Starting off with those squat jumps. Taking my time on the way down and really trying to jump up, but now with everything I got. Really, most of the workout should be coming from controlling my weight on the way down and then driving up. Now notice when I'm coming down, I'm not letting my shoulders and my chest drop forward. I'm trying to maintain this as straight as I can. And remember, if this tends on being kind of difficult, we could always keep it right here and just going up. All right? The biggest thing is you just want to dictate what you can do with your anatomy. All right? And now I rest. 45 seconds, 15-second rest. Now I have to mentally prepare myself because now I'm going into those push-ups with the rotation. Put the phone down in front of me, making sure I don't want to do too little or too much. And here we go. Rotating out, nice and controlled. Rotating out, nice and controlled. Rotating, making sure, lifting up the hip, actively using this and driving down into the ground. Hips up, rotating, come right back down. And notice, I'm trying to control this as much as I can. If you're feeling that you can move a little bit quicker, by all means, but just make sure that that good quality of movement is still intact. And now I rest. Going into that last movement, which is gonna end up being those marches. So I'm just gonna go and walk right over here to the wall to prepare myself. Getting up against the wall. And here we go. Tapping the floor, coming right back up. Just like so. You should be feeling nice, good tension occurring throughout the whole entire stomach. And actively pushing into that wall. Actively pushing. And if you have weight, making sure that you're actively pushing up against that weight the whole time. Again, making sure that I'm not doing too much or too little, checking on that timer. And time. And there we go, guys. That was one round. This is a really, really nice one. Really enjoyed it. Let's get after it. And remember, we're gonna get through this together. Let's get it.